firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
And you be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
take pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today. Years of commitment to harnessing the power of creativity, ingenuity, unity, and academic excellence.
In the Glass City, we've got fast-paced ice hockey on tap inside the glass on the banks of the Maumee River. The Adrian College Bulldogs are fishing for a victory over the Aurora Spartans tonight. Last night's game was the one that got away for the Bulldogs as they fell 5-4 in OT at Trine. But tonight they're going to look to reel in a monster catch at the Huntington Center, home of the ECHL's Toledo Walleye. Calvin Keys, joined by Alex Herman, here with you on ACTV. And Herm, what would you like to see Adrian utilize from their tackle box to ensure they're swimming downstream against Aurora today?
Well, first of all, the fish puns off the chart, so I got to tip my cap to you there, Calvin. But the first thing you got to highlight, really, the physical play. The Bulldogs have some heavy hitters in John Calgin and Io Adinier. You know, those are some big bodies that they can utilize to push the pace on the physical side. And then, as well, Jacob Swade and Julian Jacob, two guys who aren't as large, but even then, they like to hit the body from time to time as well. They really need to make the Spartans think twice about going to the corners and the loose pucks. They got to score early here. They had to play catch-up in yesterday's game, so they got to jump on the board first here.
We are underway here from the Huntington Center. Bulldogs in the all-black, moving right to left on your screen. The Spartans of Aurora University moving left to right in the cream. This one found at center by the Spartans, working it onwards as Jackson Kirk. Swade trying to muscle it up the wall. Board battle ensues. It'll squirt out to the neutral zone. Backwards for Matt Redding. Redding was the top performer for the Bulldogs last night as Swade dancing in tried to go short side. It's off the side of the net. This puck bounces up over the goal haphazardly. Spartans will find it as we've got a whistle and a stoppage for a hand pass.
Look at that. We were talking about scoring early. Jake Swade right off to the hop. Almost got that to sneak by on the short side. Would have been a good opportunity for them to get up on the scoreboard early in this first period.
Puck took a strange bounce by the Spartan defenseman there as the play developed, and Swade tried to beat the Spartans netminder Jacob Musatelli to the short side. Musatelli, a transfer from the University of Maine, played the year before that at Clarkson University, so has traveled around the NCAA D1 ranks as Aurora will ice the puck here. Matt Kudo touching up for the whistle.
I think it's important to note, too, opposite end of the blue paint. It's Dershawn Stewart in the net again. Played last night against Trine. Unfortunately, the Bulldogs lost in overtime. And it's hard to believe, but that game was only the fourth this season that Dershawn Stewart has allowed 3 or more goals through the entirety of a game. So he's played great this season, leads the NCHA conference with a .929 save percentage. And he's doing his part on the back end for the Bulldogs.
That he has. Played well despite the loss last night on the road at Trine, 5-4 in OT. Kudo will wrap this puck around the half wall. It's elevated, gloved down well by Procopio and held in. Kudo will look the other direction. That one away from Theo Troon, but they say he got a piece. Icing negated. Calgin in heavy on the forecheck. Patosha will find it, send it goalward, and that is gloved by Jacob Musatelli.
Both the two shots that the Bulldogs have so far, not from the best areas of scoring, but they've been on net, and they really just need to make sure that they can keep that up throughout this game. It's going to be one of their biggest keys to success here this evening from Toledo, Ohio.
Io Adenier, D-to-D at the point for Ben Loretto. This has moved up the boards and swung out to center. Loretto finding it and then shooting it right back in for Dominic Lubert to chase. He draws into the lineup, replacing Anton Sorensen, who was in the starting 12 forwards last night. Hard hit there behind the play. What'd you see on that collision, Herm?
Yeah, Lubert just angled, I believe that was John Hallard, into that protective part where the glass meets the stanchion, and that really could have been a scary hit if it was any closer.
Certainly not a place you want to get angled towards if you're an Aurora Spartan. Heavy hit from Dominic Lubert, as you mentioned. Lubert is a Quebec City product and played his junior hockey for the Hampton Roads Whalers of the USPHL. Face-off coming back in the Adrian zone. Ryan Vellucci will oppose Spencer Denbesti at the dot. Vellucci cleaning out the draw and trying to work it up the wall now is Ben Loretto, the freshman. Adenier moving it out to center, and here's Lubert from the far side. Uncorks a long wrister that's over the net. Am's ball rimmed it around. Colliding with the official there was the defenseman for the Spartans, Tyler Payne. Glove down by Jacob. He'll handle and shoot right back in as he takes a nudge from Chase Broda. Out of his net to play it is Musatelli. Long shot from Jacob. Didn't get through as he is plastered at the point by Denbesti. And here's a break the other way. The Spartans shooting that one over the crossbar. Chase Broda with the chance. Unable to hit the net there as he was home free.
Couple of big hits from both sides. Alec Lovasek earlier, just a few moments ago, along the wall. And Spartans almost got off there early. Had a quick breakaway, but that shot high and over the crossbar.
Puck sent around the boards is moved on off the wall by Brockman. Jacob will handle it. Turned it right over to Matt Weber, who carried it in offside, and will have a neutral zone face-off upcoming. Both of these teams poised highly in the NCAA conference coming into this game, Herm, which actually does not count towards the NCAA rankings, but Bulldogs are 7-1, tied with St. Norbert and Trine for the conference lead. Aurora right behind them in second with a 6-2 mark. What do you think has led to both of these teams' success so far this season?
Well, they've always had good success throughout their history, and Aurora is one of those sneaky teams that you really got to watch out for, and the Bulldogs obviously making it all the way to the national championship game last year, so you have to assume that they're always going to be good as well. Both sides have NCAA Division I history on their rosters, and the players that they're able to bring in straight from juniors, always top of their ranking from wherever their last destination was.
Great programs here in the Midwest for NCAA Division III hockey as Matt Redding iced the puck. Draw will come back into the Adrian zone. Let's talk about the game last night. We already mentioned it was a 5-4 loss in OT on the road in Angola, Indiana at the Thunder Ice Arena, home of Trine University's hockey program. That was a tight game, but the Bulldogs had to play a little bit of catch-up, slow start to the game. Do you attribute that to rust after having not played for a few weeks during the holiday break?
Well, it depends, to be honest with you. Sometimes players get caught up. Not everybody goes back and skates, and you need to give your body a little bit of a rest. And it's never easy getting back into a rivalry game after you've been on a break. So I'd say likely just figuring out how to get their footing back, but unusual for the Bulldogs to be down early the way they were.
Brockman centers. Stewart able to seal off the shot from Procopio. Redding will snatch it away and clear. How about those reflexes from Stewart? Got down into the butterfly rather quickly to seal up the 5-hole, Herm.
Good stop from him in tight. He's looked strong so far. Hasn't been tested too much, but man, what a season he's having. Came down with a little bit of an injury last year, so that's likely why you didn't really see him as the designated starter between him and Nick Tallarico, but he's really been an influential part of this roster this season to make sure that the Bulldogs can stay in games and come away with as many wins as possible.
Another look there at the chance from Giovanni Procopio. Stewart taking a quick look behind him, but was able to keep the puck in front of him with the save. Centered that time from Hassan Ackle. Pinned on the boards is Sedlacek. They try to work it free. Procopio into the near corner. Loretto is there. Pries it loose. The captain, Calgin, can't quite get it out as this one's sent back down low by Connor Smith. Adenier, stripped by Ackle, as knocked over with a heavy collision there was Adenier, slow to get up. I think he might be missing a steal. Sliding into the
totally
middle.
Is. He's got no steel in his boot.
He's going to try and shuffle his way to the bench here, as that was impressive from Ayo Adeniyi, missing one of the blades of his skates. But I respect the commitment to move back into the middle of the ice and try to defend that play. Luckily, Bulldogs were able to clear it.
Yeah, he was butterfly pushing there like he was a netminder.
Maybe Dershawn Stewart's been giving him some lessons. This is sent up through center. Blake Condor trying to drop it off. This one taken back up the other way by Lovasek. Pass too far ahead of Connor May. A couple of Spartans collide. Now they're rushing up the other direction. Trying to burst free here is Spencer Denbesti. He falls down to the ice. No arm bump in the air. Play continues. Long shot here. Jacob down on his knee to make the stop, trying to spin it out of the zone, but lost control of the puck. A shot from a hard angle coming from Jake Code. This one muscled back down low. Lovasek will find it, sent it across, but this is handled at the point by Santa Lucia. Able to keep it in as opening up is Pang. That's off the skate of Jacob. And Lovasek will send this one rink wide as he takes a hit.
Yeah, that shot block from Jacob looked like it stung him a little bit in the foot. He was very ginger as he made his way back to the bench. Got to shake that one off and hope the adrenaline kicks in so it doesn't hurt too bad.
It looked like for Jacob there, he caught that shot on the inside of the skate, which is probably the most painful place to take one of those, right on the ankle.
And there you see head official Bill Jones assisting Ayo Adeniyi with picking up his steal and giving it back to him on the bench, so hopefully he can pop that back in and get back out onto the ice.
It's interesting in this new age of hockey where you can pop out your steal and put in a new sharpened one that also provides an opportunity for it to pop out when it's not supposed to and put Adeniyi in a difficult situation. Luckily, Bulldogs were able to clear.
It's a lot better than the old skates. You had to take your skate off, take the footbed out. There was a screw on the inside of the boot. Ooh, that was a late shot. You're going to see some physicality here. Bulldogs did not like that. There was a whistle blown. I can't tell who it is trying to get the number.
Chase Broda.
Yeah, he broke in, played it down himself, and the whistle blew, and he shot, and he's going to get called for this. But I think it's going to be matching. Jake Swade looks like he's going to the box as well, but cannot do that, and he knows exactly what he did. Trying to make his case saying, oh, I didn't hear the whistle. I'm not too sure about that one. He was at least 4 or 5 steps after the whistle that he decided to fire his shot. So we'll skate 4-on-4 here with 12:55 left to go in the first.
Little Euro step from Chase Broda there to pick it up out of the air, set it down. That was the first infraction, which is not warranting a 2-minute stay in the box. The second is sending it on goal after the whistle. And good on the Bulldogs for protecting their teammate, and good on the officials for clamping down on that, because that's not activity you want to continue. If you allow something like that to slide early on in the game, that can set a dangerous precedent.
When you have officials who know how to police the game and make sure that everybody stays honest, a lot of these contests run a lot smoother.
Certainly, Bulldog power play operating at 24% so far this season. They'll have a chance to go to work here, although, correction, it's 4-on-4. I didn't notice they took a Bulldog player as well.
Yeah,
looks like it's Jake Swade in the box.
Yeah, I think they gave him one for after the whistle when he stepped in. Honestly, is the right call to keep it evened up there.
This one's centered. Kudo tipped on by Summers. It's summertime in January. They score.
This is exactly what we talked about to open up the game. Biggest thing for the Bulldogs here is to figure out their way to jump on the board early. When you can spin the momentum in your favor, that helps you throughout the game, and that's exactly what they did here. Picking up loose change, goalie can't hold on to it, fighting for the rebound, and they found a way. Dogs on top, 1-0 with 12:11 left to go in the first.
Courtesy of Brad Summers, Musatelli punches away the first, second squeaks through the 5-hole. Nice play from Summers. That's his 5th goal of the season. Spartans looking to skate it out here as this one is dropped off by Jackson Hay. Condor up ahead, pass sealed off by Jacob. will backhand this one forwards. You had a feeling that the 4-on-4 game was going to benefit the Bulldogs with the amount of talented skaters they have, and that's what happens as the ice is opened up.
Absolutely, and you see similar things happen when it goes 3-on-3 if you ever have to get to the extra frame. But good on the Bulldogs to take advantage of the opportunity.
Vellucci stabbing it on. This one spun around the kick plate. Prying it free here is Smith. Worked up for Procopio. He'll deal it down low and chase in on Jacob. Calgin swooping in to grab the biscuit. Shields will look across. That pass deflects off the skate of Ian Amsball. Amsball steering this one up ice. It's directed in by Calgin. Dealt off the boards. Takes an odd bounce dangerously off the skate of Schmidt. Spartans recover as Schmidt angled off of it by Kudo. Swade and Broda return to the ice. We are back to 5-on-5 with the score now 1-0 thanks to Brad Summers. This centering pass nearly sent in Patosha on the breakaway. It went off his skate. Now the other way, firing a shot on is Lucas Sedlacek, kicked out by the right pad of Dershawn Stewart.
I like the shot selection from Sedlacek. Coming in from the outside, cutting in, left-handed shot. Looked to the far side and hit the toe box of the pad of Stewart. Easy way to generate a rebound there, but unfortunate for him, nobody there to put it home.
I believe the abbreviation is POP, pass off pad.
That would be correct.
Lovasek dancing in. Oh, that deflected off the glove of Musatelli after Lovasek showed off some silky mitts.
Whew. That was a sweet move there from Lovasek.
Gerstein, the new addition for the Bulldogs. Junior transfer from King's College in Pennsylvania, had his first goal with Adrian last night. Handles the puck there as, a few feet away from the Toledo Mudhens home ballpark. Stewart will field that fly ball, or puck rather.
Fly puck there. It's like a shortstop.
Connor May lining up with, that is Matt Weber on the draw. Whistle blows, they'll take it again. Face off, one back by the Bulldogs. Adenier finds Troon, and the Western Michigan transfer able to bank it off the wall.
This is going to be whistled down. This puck was deflected. I believe that's Brad Summers over there on the box, had his hand outstretched over his bench, and it caught him, so we'll get the whistle, take the face off, and neutral ice.
Players love hanging over the boards like that, but have to be aware when the puck is headed your way. Adenier moved on for Loretto, sending it up the wall, kept in by Jacob Brockman. Adenier into the middle. May saucered for Troon. Long pass. Intervening there was Brockman, but deflected it deep into his own territory. Huge hit there on the reverse for Alex Schwab. Schwab standing his ground as the Spartans will move it out to neutral territory. Adenier battling with Rudin. A little bit of a size mismatch there on the boards. This one played down by Adrian College. Sent onwards, deflected forwards by Brockman. Swade dealt for Jacob. Out of the air, it's corralled here by Swade. And with speed, Jake Swade rings the iron with the shot.
Ever so close. Jake Swade, one of those deceptive players. You don't realize how much speed and skill that he has until he's actually up on the rush against you. And quick snapper, hits the post. That could have been a 2-0 game in a jiffy.
Goaltender's best friend there, keeping the puck out. Swade really had some pep in his step. And I gotta say, Herm, it's encouraging to see the amount of jump and intensity the Bulldogs have here out of the gate after a little bit of a tedious start last night in Angola.
This is really a game that's gonna predict the future of their season. You have a game against one of your biggest rivals in Trine, another big rival in Aurora. All of these games have meaning. And if they can figure out how to dominate in this one, that's really going to help them going forward.
Skating like the wind ahead is Rudin, dropped it off and just sent over the shoulder of Stewart from Santa Lucia.
I don't know if Stewart got a piece of it or not. Looked like maybe he did, but I didn't hear anything from up here in the booth.
Santa Lucia maybe missed the mark. Maybe Stewart made a good save. Regardless, the puck stays out. 1-0 Adrian the score. Brad Summers striking in this first period at the 7:49 mark from Matt Redding and Matt Kudo. Am's ball, driving in, shielding, trying to center. Intended target was Lubert, reaching for it is Babiak. Nice work to keep it in from the NTDP product.
What is going on behind the play? Lubert was held up there.
Lubert, a spark plug for this Adrian team, has it in the slot. Blocker save made by Musatelli. Klein will stand up. Jake Code, much to the appreciation of the fans here in attendance at the Huntington Center, home of the East Coast Hockey League's Toledo Walleye. We're happy to have you with us on ACTV on this simulcast with the Buckeye Cable Sports Network. Calvin Keys alongside my goaltender, Alex Herman. Happy occasion to be here in Toledo, Ohio for a neutral site game between the Spartans of Aurora and the Bulldogs of Adrian. Dogs lead early.
Good way to open up 2024.
Absolutely.
Had that first women's game earlier with Adrian and Trine. Good victory after 60 minutes for the ladies. And another good rivalry here this afternoon, or early evening, I should say, between the Bulldogs and the Spartans.
Just about 6.5 to go here in the first stanza from the Huntington Center. This is stolen away at Denier. Will plaster Kirk to the boards, but in here with the chance. Big save made by Stewart on Lucas Sedlacek. Nice move by Patosha to evade and get it out of his own end now. Lovasek carries in, and this is taken away once more by Pang. Through neutral ice, Brockman with the puck in tow, tried to find the trailer in Rudin. He'll play it around. Kaljan grabs a hold of the vulcanized rubber, gains center and will shoot in. Blake Condor gets a little bit of help around the wall from Schmidt. Shields slid over for Jacob as he's pressured. Kaljan will bat this one forwards. Bulldogs get a wholesale change. Turning up ice, looking to headman the attack is Jackson Hay. This one lifted in by Hassan Ackle. Ackle, the assist leader as well as the points leader. He's got 11 apples and 15 total points on the year for the Spartans to lead the team.
Bulldogs need to be careful here. The last couple of passes, and even that one right there, not as crisp as they had been in the first 10 minutes. They've turned the puck over a couple of times, and that save that we saw from Stewart earlier.
My goodness, a scramble out front. Somehow, some way, Stewart able to keep that puck from crossing the goal line. This one lifted in, a goalie's worst nightmare there. Puck on edge, sailing, no bounce as Jacob Musatelli is able to field it. Back and forth action as Aurora had their best chance of the hockey game so far deep in the Bulldogs' end.
And that was a pop fly, too, sent out of the zone. And look at the scramble. That one went through the legs of Stewart. He had no clue where it was. That was 4.5 inches too far right of the right side goalpost from crossing the red line. That could have been a tie game.
That's a scenario where it's nice to be 6'1".
Absolutely.
If you're Deshaun Stewart. Top line out for the Bulldogs. This one tied up and knocked backwards for Giuliano Santalucia, native of Burnaby, British Columbia. This will be icing against the Spartans. 4:47 left in the first period. Bulldogs are 9-4-1 coming into this game, and Aurora is 7-6-1. Both of these teams looking to bounce back from disappointing results in recent days. Bulldogs lost in OT last night, and the Spartans fell at the holiday tournament out in Vermont, falling to Norwich and Wesleyan in back-to-back games. Good chance for Summers there as he won it forward. What do you think the mantra is for these teams coming after a loss, playing a big game at a really fun place to play at? What do you think their identity is coming into this one?
You have to have enough energy going into these games, but especially when you're under the big arena, you have a lot of seats, things kind of open up a bit, and you have to stay poised. You can get caught up in the fact that you're playing in a really cool arena, but you have to remember, it's still the same game. You have to play a full, complete 60 minutes, and you need to do your part, whatever your role might be.
The dimensions of this rink are the exact same as they are in Adrian, Michigan and Geneva, Illinois. Well said. Summers worked for Amsball. Taken away again as this was played around the boards by Broda, who was involved in that skirmish earlier on in the first period after the shot after the whistle. Broda working on the near wing. Cycled down. This is handled by Weber. 3:35 to go in the first period. Bulldogs lead 1-0 here at this neutral site game at the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio. Amsball shrugs this one in. Santa Lucia shoots it forward. Adenier, D-to-D for Loretto. Lovisek wheels off. Now he'll look down for Loretto. Amsball once more turning, shooting, sealing it off is Musatelli, and he's able to cover up. You know, Herm, on that previous play, I had to kind of do a little bit of a double take because Musatelli came out of the net and played it outside of the trapezoid. The problem is that trapezoidal area where you're limited to playing the puck as a goaltender is a rule in the ECHL, but not in the NCAA, so that's why it was allowed.
Yep. In this game, those lines all for show on the ice. Only place you'll see that is in professional hockey, like you mentioned. Can't play the puck once you've handled it in the trapezoid and then skate out of it. But if you touch up outside of the trapezoid beforehand, then it is legal, of course. But in this case, like you mentioned, doesn't really matter for this contest.
If I was a referee and I saw that play happen, I would, my split-second decision would be to blow the whistle there for a penalty. So good discipline. These guys know what they're doing. They know the rule book for the NCAA level. There's a reason I'm up in the booth. Jacob has it knocked away from him. This is dropped off. Stewart, a save on the first and the second, as crashing in was Giovanni Procopio. Meanwhile, Lovisek the other direction. Going in, Jacob looking for the tip. He missed it and then was upended after the play by Procopio. Ackle on the rush. That's kicked away adeptly by Shields.
Julian Jacob was making a case that he should have gotten a call behind the play. Was hit hard from behind, and here we go, some more action in neutral ice. A scuffle in front of the bench.
A dog pile, if you will.
Yes. I'm not really sure what sparked that, but some commotion in front of the Bulldog bench. You get the feeling we've seen some big hits in this first period, and another example there of physicality. This game might turn into a really spirited battle on the physical front.
And that's really dangerous, too, when you have players piled up like that. They have extremely sharp knives on their feet, so I think it's careful. You got to be careful in those situations, but not really much you can do to prevent a cut from happening when everyone's sprawled around haphazardly.
The only good thing that happened that wasn't as dangerous is everybody's head was facing the same way. They were all just stacked up on top of each other. I think it was a Spartan, then a Bulldog, and then a Spartan. So a Bulldog sandwich there, or a Spartan sandwich, as you will. And interested to see what the discussion is here between the officials, whether there might be some penalties being assessed. So Captain John Callaghan will come off the bench, as well as Connor Smith for the Spartans. Not to be mistook for Connor Smith of Adrian College from last year, one of the top scorers for the men's D1 ACHA team, now making it to the pro ranks for the Binghamton Black Bears in the FPHL.
Great shooter, that guy.
Oh, heavy shot. There is going to be a penalty here. I don't know if it's just a lone call for the Spartans or if the Bulldogs are getting one too, but as of right now, it's just one. And it looks like Giovanni Procopio, if I caught the number correct.
As you said, it's the Captain Procopio. Did we see a signal for the call here?
Not yet. They kind of just ushered him off to the box. We'll see if official Mark DeRosiers turns around, and he's just going to speak this one into the speaking hole in front of the box.
There's a look at head coach Adam Krug, who had a brief stint playing here with the Toledo Walleye? We get a replay look. Looked like Calgin brought down a Spartan player. You can see this replay, and then a Spartan piled on top of Calgin. So maybe Aurora's a little bit unfortunate to be shorthanded here. Regardless, a great way to close out the final 2 minutes and change on the power play for the Bulldogs with Procopio in the box. Shields a howitzer. Deflects wide. Swade and Summers play catch. On for the power play quarterback, Jaden Shields. Protecting the point, Summers. And soaking up that shot was Alex Schwab, the senior, sliding in to make the block.
Gotta watch out for Jake Swade on this power play. They're gonna put him in front of the net. He's gonna look for that tip.
Summers, Shields, pulled backwards. Patient approach here from Shields. Summers, long shot, great save made, and no rebound from Jacob Musatelli as he snares it with the trapper.
That's a good stop from Musatelli. Swade making his life difficult as he was staying on top of the blue paint, but Musatelli all the way through. Track that from blade to trapper.
We haven't heard the penalty announced yet over the loudspeaker, but it should be noted it was a 5-minute major called against Procopio.
Oh, wow. He must have said something after the whistle, because there's clearly something the officials didn't like.
I don't think he got on top of Calgin there and wrapped up his head, so maybe something along those lines. This one sealed off again by Musatelli for another stoppage.
And this is really a big chance for the Bulldogs, too, because a 5-minute major, that's 5 minutes of uninterrupted penalty time. Even if you score, man doesn't come out of the box. So they'll be 5-on-4 for quite some time and to start the second.
Bulldogs have a goal at 4-on-4 play. Can they find one 5-on-4? Patosha stepping into a snap shot that missed the mark. Calgin back for Troon on the far boards as we enter the final minute of the first period of play. Jacob Patosha walks in, trying to slide it down low. What a tip by Calgin, but he tipped it wide.
Man, that was close from taking a bounce.
Jacob to Troon. Sauce, Patosha, Calgin net front, sent it into the near corner. 30 seconds left before the intermission. Calgin squeaks all the way back for Jacob. Another nice shot block made by Derek Buds.
Great step up from Buds. You have a feeling that that one hurt, but that was one that he needed to make. And this will likely kill off the last couple of seconds unless the Bulldogs can get a rush quickly.
Huge clearance by Matt Weber, less than 10 now. Patosha, Jacob, wrist shot right into the AU logo on Musatelli's sweater with 5.8 left on the clock.
Question will be here is, does Coach Adam Krug pull Stewart? Right now the signal is no, but maybe if they get one more shot and a stoppage with 3 or 2 seconds left, you might see it.
Watch for Casey Gerstein crashing the front of the net here. Oh, Summers had a swipe at it and just missed. Spartans clear it, and they're able to emerge from the first 2 minutes and 19 seconds of the Bulldog power play unscathed. We head to the first intermission. Should be noted, Bulldogs will have another 2 minutes and 41 seconds of power play time to start the second. As for now, the only goal to speak of, Brad Summers from Matt Redding and Matt Kudo. Bulldogs with a much improved first to what we saw yesterday, Herm.
Yeah, and really that's exactly what you were looking for. We talked about it. They needed to jump on the board first. It's always important when you can sway the momentum in your favor, and that's exactly what they did. And even throughout the rest of the period, they really held on to their offensive pressure when they were in the O-zone. They did a great job at finding pucks towards the net, looking for rebounds, making life difficult for the visiting Spartans. A lot to like there, and certainly much improved, as you said, after yesterday's game against Trine.
Here in the Glass City, Bulldogs able to break the ice. They're up 1-0 after 20 minutes of play. They start the second on the power play. Calvin Keys, Alex Herman back with more NCAA Division III hockey here on ACTV.
firsts, lasts, and in-betweens, we're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
And you be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
Welcome back inside the Huntington Center here in Toledo, Ohio, where the Adrian College Bulldogs are taking on the Aurora University Spartans. After 20 minutes of play, the scoreline 1-0 in favor of the Bulldogs. As we welcome you inside the booth, I'm Calvin Keys alongside Alex Herman. Lone goal in this one came from Brad Summers at 4-on-4, assisted by Matt Redding and Matt Kudo. How were the Bulldogs able to get a puck by Musatelli there in the early goings of that first period?
Well, they had a quick, fast step right out of the gate, which is exactly what we sort of asked the Bulldogs to do here in the pre-show. It's important to note some of these games in the season, they've come from behind and really had to start on their heels. And this game, not the case. They came flying straight out of the gate, and Brad Summers with the lone goal so far. And I think it's also really interesting to note he's leading the Bulldogs right now as well with shots on goal at 4. So got to be careful right there if Brad Summers has the only goal as well as they're distributing the puck to him. So they might be looking for him to shoot here tonight. But they've done great on both ends of the ice, offense and defense. Deshaun Stewart with a couple of, some really nice stops in his crease. Saw a good breakaway save from him, and he's doing his job for the Bulldogs as best as possible.
Absolutely. What's the blueprint here for the Bulldogs here as they've got 2 minutes and 41 seconds of carryover power play time after the major penalty to Procopio?
Well, the first thing, it's really important. They're on the power play. They're up 5-on-4. As Coach Mike would always say, if you keep shooting the puck, eventually it will go in. So the biggest thing here, don't be as selective with your shots. Start throwing some garbage towards the front of the net. See if you can pick up loose rebounds, and that's exactly what we saw in the first one. So we'll see what's going to happen here on this power play. Second period about to start.
If I had my crystal ball with me, I would predict that we'll see some point shots up top from Jaden Shields with big Casey Gerstein right in Musatelli's face. We'll see if that develops. Shields carries in here. Opening up here from the left wing with Redding up top. Redding collects the pass. Summers dropped off. Gerstein snapped his lumber.
Whoa!
Oh,
look out.
You said it, that one. Absolutely wired into the Bulldog bench. Their equipment manager, Johnny Costello, with his mouth gaping wide after, a close call. Had to duck there.
Yeah, they don't wear helmets on the bench when you're not a player, and that one, wow, that was a little too close, I think, for anybody.
Nolan Suggs, the backup netminder for the Bulldogs, gesturing as if to say, I'll stick my blocker in front of that one next time.
It's too bad that he's to the right of him. A little bit far behind, but got to be careful when you're on the bench there. Never a dull moment.
Redding will skate this one in. Huge clearance off the initial draw from the Spartans. This puck is found down low by Connor Smith. Puck flying up in the air, jump ball, and Swade able to come down with it. Muscled back. Shields, nice deke to get away from one. Here's Gerstein, down low, puck loose. Musatelli down, a couple of Bulldogs down. Summers without his bucket.
Very surprised you didn't see anything after the whistle there. Likely was because the entire dog pile was on top of Musatelli. But some rebound chances and Alex Schwab, physicality. You're going to see it being received and distributed on both sides. Got to establish your presence. Bulldogs really need a shot here.
Spartans doing a nice job there of clearing out the net front. And Musatelli, a nice work to fall on the puck there and prevent any rebounds from squirting free. Patosha here, power play second unit out for the Bulldogs. Troon. Jacob will handle, long shot, that's blocked. The follow-up after the initial shot was blocked by Santa Lucia is steered wide, and Derek Buds will skate this one out. Falling down to the ice, a strong effort from Buds, senior from Yorkton, Saskatchewan. Troon, rimmed around the boards. Patosha sliding in, finds May. Connor May worked for Calgin. Troon handling it on the near boards, looking for a backdoor tip from May. Pass didn't get through cleanly. Troon regaining control. This one dropped off. Patosha trying to lift one, sent it over the net. 50 seconds left in the penalty to Giovanni Procopio. Spartans penalty kill, looking stalwart to start the second. Swade crosses over the blue line. Handed off for Redding. This one deflected away, and a foot race. Here's Buds skating up the near wall, muscled into the wall by Shields. This is taken by Gerstein. Gerstein pulling backwards, holding, waiting, looking for options. He'll deal it low for Swade. Couldn't handle it. Redding back down for Swade. 13 seconds left in the Bulldog power play. Summers drop for Shields, walking the blue line. Able to find Redding. Receives the pass. Sliding down low. Back across for Summers. Puck skipped away from his stick. And the 5-minute penalty killed off by the Spartans as a shot whizzing in off the blade of Shields' stick. And that one captured by Jacob Musatelli. Really a statement penalty kill as the Spartans negate all 5 minutes of power play time, crossing over from the end of the first to the start of the second.
That's a huge defensive effort from the Spartans and a really pivotal part of this game. You have to hope as the Bulldogs that you can get at least one on the 5-minute major. You have time uninterrupted. Even if you score, you don't go back to even strength, and not so great on the power play here for Adrian College as we're back to even strength.
Worked on for the Spartans by Jake Code. Kudo pickpocketed the puck, found in the neutral zone by Condor, and quickly lifted back in. Klein looking for Vellucci. It's turned over, but taken right back for Adrian by Amsball. Vellucci can't find it. Finally, the leading scorer for the Spartans, Hassan Ackel, will move it in. Ackel really comes to play against the Adrian Bulldogs. Earlier on this season in their back-to-back in Geneva, Illinois, he had a 4-assist weekend in consecutive games. Vellucci sliding in to keep it in as Lubert will handle it in the near corner. Shot will carry him away from the net off of the stick of Tyler Payne.
4 assists. Those are some big numbers right there from Ackel.
Really talented in the provisionary aspect of the game, finding his teammates in scoring scenarios. Skating in here, chasing it is Brockman. Big bodies come together as he collides with Adenier. Brockman in Gretzky's office. Sticked away by Adenier. Moved back for Loretto. Kaljan, the board play, not enough mustard to get out. Now it's off a skate, and Lovasek will turn up ice. Here's a 2-on-1 with Loretto. Alec Lovasek off the right shoulder as that's shrugged off by Musatelli. And we could have an odd man rush developing the other way. This is skated onwards, dropped off the shot too high, coming from Chase Schmidt.
Musatelli with a huge shoulder stop on the opposite end of the ice. Stayed patient the whole way through, recognized the shooting threat where it was. That's a great stop from the Spartans netminder.
Patosha pitchforks this one into the middle for Kaljan, who's tripped up. Musatelli able to scoop up the rolling biscuit. And we have a stoppage with 14:59 left to go in the second period. Shots 17-11 in favor of the Bulldogs. Brad Summers getting them on the board at 7:49 of the first period as we get a look at Theo Troon, local guy from Grand Rapids, Michigan. What have you liked from Troon's game as he's a new addition to this Adrian squad this year?
Well, you know what? He's a big body, and he might not be the tallest player on the roster, but, man, he is solid, and somebody you got to watch out for when you're going into the corner because he could really muscle some people around.
Gerstein worked on for May, has Troon with him, saucered rink wide, trying to pick out Shields. It skates through, and now maybe a 3-on-1 for the Spartans if they hurry. Ackel trying to tee up Condor, and that was sticked away. Strong defensive play by the Bulldog defense. May directed onwards towards the goal, and that'll be covered up by Musatelli once more. Players able to make some line changes as Swade will collide with Schwab on the way to the bench. Jacob Musatelli looking to bounce back from his last start against Wesleyan University, where in 29 minutes he allowed 4 goals on 22 shots and was pulled in favor of their backup Matt O'Donnell. I'd say he's putting together a strong performance today.
And you know what? He moves really, really well, and you can see that former D1 experience playing into his game as he shifts around in the crease. Quick, fast edge work, and a lot of his saves really, really snappy.
So much of the goaltending position is mental. After allowing a few more shots by you than you would have liked last weekend, it's a new day and a new dawn, and that's the mantra that Musatelli has embraced, playing really, really strong between the pipes here in Toledo. Summers. Redding. Looking backwards. Klein. Handling. Waiting. Looking for Summers. Trying to slide it out front. This is found by Klein. Directed out of his own end by Jackson Kirk. Brought down there was Babyak. Both players grabbing a hold of one another. Dominic Lubert with Steen.
That was a good aggressive play from Stewart to play that puck. Got to have a lot of confidence to make that play happen.
This is a Denier around the boards. Musatelli will handle it for Santa Lucia. Head manning the rush is Rudin. Nice passing out of their own end as it'll come for Weber. He's able to stand up the body checker of the Bulldogs. And Jake Rudin just rocked Amsbaugh. Physical play prevalent here with 12:40 left to go in the second period. Another big hit laid by Weber. This one lifted, caromed off the glove hand of Loretto. Trying to elevate in is Smith, but it went off of a Denier. Lovasek off the boards. Amsbaugh reaching after it. He's tied up. This will be taken by Condor. Loretto opening up. Karam's one on for Calgin. Patosha skating into the offensive zone. Ryan Patosha turns and shoots. And quick with the leather was Musatelli. Anyone's game here still in this second period. You get the feeling Spartans are feeling comfortable defending against the Bulldogs and then picking their moments on the offensive end.
Well, they don't look like they're struggling at all, and they're definitely in this contest. At this point, really just looking to find as many bounces as they can get.
Musatelli way out of his goal to play this one. So this is found by Patosha. We'll get a whistle here for a hand pass. And Patosha just upended a Spartan. That's going to draw the ire of the entire Aurora team as Patosha wrapped up there. Coming to the defense of his teammate was Spencer Denbesti. And now Jacob will get involved with Jake Code. See what comes out of this. Another look at the play here. It's after the whistle. Patosha looks like an incidental collision with Condor, but if you see your teammate knocked over, you got to come to his aid, and that's what Denbesti did.
And I'm interested here, too. There was no penalty initially until Jacob came in and had the extra scuffle. So I think it's going to be more matching minors here. Pretty sure we're going to skate 4-on-4 with 12:01 left to go in the second period. These two sides not afraid to throw the body. Saw it in the first, seeing it here again in the second.
Something about having to play the same team 3 times in a season. By the third time around, you aren't too fond of your opponents, shall we say. Here's Gerstein. He's leveled. Another massive check delivered, that time by Giuliano Santalucia. This one skated out. We're 4 aside here at the Huntington Center. Follow-up chance. That one didn't get by May. Tyler Pang with the shot. Here's May skating it out through the neutral zone. Has numbers with him. Babyak crashing the net as May will shoot. That's off the back of Santalucia's leg.
It was the right idea, just the wrong timing. had the shot, but good step-up block there.
I love to see Babyak skating through, just causing all kinds of trouble heading towards the net front to distract defenders. And a little bit fortunate for Giuliano Santalucia there that he was able to get that block on the shot from May, unbeknownst to him. Derek Buds prized the puck free, and plenty of time and space for Tyler Pang, who will give his team some time to change before dumping the puck in. Matt Kudo, junior from London, Ontario. Ams ball. Looking across for Patosha, lost the handle on it. This is Hay the other direction in the far corner. Swooping through to grab it again is Jackson Hay. Hay will look to meander around Kudo, tries to cut back, puck still loose, chance in tight, the wraparound attempt, rebound chance. Unable to get it off was Schmidt. Good creativity and edge work there to rip around the net, and Stewart able to get the left pad over. How did he lose a stick there on the play, Herm?
I think it just got caught up in the traffic, but that was a fantastic stop from Dershawn Stewart. Sort of lost his vision there as he's going to quickly skate to get his sticks. Got to be careful because he almost looked for the empty net, but it's tipped in.
The net was vacated and the puck was heading back towards that direction. You said it. It seems like this game just gets a little bit more entertaining when it moves to 4-on-4. We've got a point shot. Someone crashing the net hard there. Bulldogs don't like that. I think that was Jake Code coming in heavy on Stewart after, did that puck get trapped underneath his right pad?
That's what it looked like for me, and to be honest with you, that's the right thing to do if you're a Spartan. The whistle hasn't blown, so the play is still live. Why not go to the net and try and poke it free? If he gets the right part of the pad, that could be behind Stewart and in the net. We could have a tie hockey game, so you always play the risk when you're going to face off with a goalie because it's the most protected player on the ice, but that's the right play call for the Spartans.
So Jake Code has license to crash the net there if the whistle is not blown.
Absolutely.
So since Stewart probably had it closed, or closed off underneath his pad rather, the onus is on the official there to blow the whistle a little bit quicker.
I don't think anybody knew where it was. That was the problem.
That's fair. Myself included. Ben Loretto driving wide behind the net. Jake Swade moving in. Redding looking for the puck. Can't hang on as this is swiped away by Weber. Loretto will find it at the left point. Sent down for Summers. Look for Redding. Spun for Io Adenier walking in. That one deflected off Musatelli and wide. Backhand saucer feed will find Adenier here. Io Adenier dished for Redding. Looking to spin one towards the slot. Good defensive work here by the Spartans to keep it to the outside, and this puck will skitter clear.
I would have liked to see a shot from Adenier there.
Puck tipped in by Gerstein. Musatelli looking around the half wall. Lovasek trying to muscle it on. Taking the aerial exit there is Tyler Pang, and that will force Stewart to cover besides his own net.
Good back and forth there. That last cycle for the Bulldogs, man, that puck was snapping around really quick. Some fast one-touch passes. At this point, really, they just need to start firing shots on net. If they can figure out ways to generate rebounds, I think you're going to see a little bit different of a game, but still doing a good job in the O-zone.
May versus Buds was the face-off matchup, and Derek Buds able to claw it back for his team. This one held in, knocked out of the air by Procopio. Knocked back down by Ackle. May coming together with Hassan Ackle. This one all the way out of the zone and back at the Walleye logo towards center. It'll be batted over by Condor. May intervening to take away the puck. Lovasek. Deft pass to find Gerstein. Up top, left for May. Walking in, shooting. Musatelli, another big save, and the follow-up by Gerstein. Wide of the frame.
Look at that. Shot from the point, save, rebound. That second one was almost in.
Everyone trying to find the puck out there after Patosha was hit hard. Jacob on the near boards. This one deflected by the stick of Ackle. Good defensive twig. Shields trying to sidestep Hassan Ackle, but it's stolen. And Ackle in on the breakaway. Denied by Dershawn Stewart. And oh boy, we've got something here in the aftermath as Shields knocked over a Spartan in the corner. That's Procopio. My goodness.
That was a flashy, confident save from Dershawn Stewart. Stared down the shooter, and likely when we see it on the replay here, the quick takeaway. Enough space and time for the decision. Waited, knew exactly what was happening, read the shot perfectly, right into the trapper. Love to see that from the Bulldogs netminder.
Dershawn Stewart confident and composed as ever, as then you see a little bit of Shields knocking over Procopio in the corner, and then going after Shields was Buds.
I think Shields thought that Procopio was trying to make a beeline towards the net. Maybe that's why he gave him a little bit of a shove. Didn't want to see his netminder finding himself in any unwarranted contact.
Perhaps. This one will slide all the way down towards the goaltender who covers up. That's Jacob Musatelli. And words still being exchanged. Pleasantries between Calgin and Schmidt.
I like the choice to send out Calgin for this next play. He's one of the bigger guys on the Bulldog and somebody who you really do not want to run into. And to sort of settle down the Spartans here to say, okay, guys, I'm on the ice now. You better watch out.
Cam Babyak, too. That's a guy who can dish it out. Comes around the boards. Calgin working through his Klein. Troon trying to work below the goal line. He's hit hard. Salvaged by Calgin. Patosha at the point. Slid for Babyak. Cam Babyak a side step and sent into safer pastures. Patosha walking out front, still has it. Where's the puck? They say it deflected up over the net. Tough to tell where that shot ended up, but not in the net.
I can't figure out whether it was Musatelli who got a piece of it or if this was blocked. I'm going to say it was blocked, but the net was totally empty. Or maybe he just shelved it.
That doesn't tell us anything, does it?
That angle doesn't help us. We need the opposite side there, but no cameras on the other end of the arena, so we will never know from up here in the booths, but that's okay.
What we do know, the score remains 1-0 in favor of Adrian. Patosha, a grade A chance, and he was a guy who played really well last time these two teams met in a weekend series a couple of months ago. He had a goal and 2 assists across 2 games, including the game winner for the Bulldogs in game 1 of the set. This will be icing against Adrian College. 6:29 left to go in this second period. Usually you look at a 1-0 score line almost 2/3 of the way through a hockey game and you say, you know, maybe it was a little bit of a slow-paced game. That's not the case here today.
No, it's back and forth. Both sides have had their fair share of chances. It's really just about who's going to bear down and find the back of the net.
Swade. Puck makes its way to Kudo. Now back for Jake Swade once more. What a dish by Redding, trying to elevate over Musatelli, who got it with the glove. Swade trying to tuck it home. And Musatelli again sliding across.
Ooh, that puck was close to the goal line there. I don't think it was in, but Musatelli with a great stop here. I think he got a piece of it with the glove, and that he did. But
off the crossbar, too.
Yep, a double bounce. And then the wraparound chance here. If we had a goal camera or an overhead camera, I'd make an argument that that one was close, because after they blew the whistle, where he pulled the puck off the red line, I would definitely take a second look at that, but no reviews here, as we'll get the face-off along the right side.
Woodgate, New York native Jacob Musatelli has saved 24 of 25 here this evening in Toledo. Something about New York producing talented goaltenders, but I digress.
Not sure what the delay was, but the Bulldogs are making a change here. And so did the Spartans. What is going on? Not entirely sure, but there is a penalty being called against Aurora. Going to the box, it's Jacob Brockman. That's a surprise. I didn't see anything unless you caught something else, Calvin.
I did not see anything either. 2 minutes up on the board.
Was it a bench minor? Could that have been it?
Most likely. One thing that's been a little frustrating is, and maybe this is just me not catching the signal at the right time, but I haven't really seen signals from the referees throughout this contest for penalties. Shields finding Redding. Jaden Shields up top. Finds Summers, lone goal scorer in this one so far. Shields mohawking his way into the right corner. The shot, where is it? I think Musatelli has it under that glove hand once more.
And delay of game on Brockman was the call read over the PA. Even though we have the official signal there, I'm not really sure what to tell you about where it happened, because I certainly didn't see anything, but Bulldogs with a big power play chance here late in the second frame.
Not sure who the home team is in this contest, but you wonder, perhaps it's Adrian. I think it is Adrian that is the home side in this contest, and if that's so, then I think Brockman was just dilly-dallying a little bit there on the line change. Don't really know how else you could get a delay of game penalty, potentially, just off of a stoppage, but Swade was looking back for Gerstein there. It's deflected away. The Spartan penalty kill remains stingy so far in this game. They were 82% effective going into this contest. So far they've killed off the only penalty they've seen so far, which was a 5-minute major in impressive fashion. We're already over 1 minute and 15 into this Bulldog power play. Can't seem to settle things down in control as that was sent out by Procopio. Summers and Procopio exchange blows as Stewart covered it up with the glove. Did we get a whistle? It looked like he slid it out. Late whistle coming. I think we're going to have a draw in the Adrian zone as Stewart had code on top of him. Was forced to cover, but a little strange there. Didn't initially hear the whistle. He tried to play it. Then we heard the shrill sound of the referee's instrument. What's allowed Aurora to be so dominant on the penalty kill and stifle Adrian's offense so far in the game?
Well, they're just stepping up on pucks. Whoever has possession, they've got a guy going straight to him. So it forces the Bulldogs really to move the puck a lot quicker maybe than they would like to. And they can't establish their setup in their offensive zone. You'll see the case here. If they can dig this puck out, it's going to go probably out to Theo Troon on the right point. They're going to have somebody going straight to him.
5 seconds left in the penalty for delay of game. The bench minor towards the Spartans. No traction really gained on this power play for the Bulldogs as Troon will walk in centered for Calgin. Big right pad save by Musatelli as Brockman will return to the sheet of ice.
Back to even strength after that strange penalty, and we'll see the last second chance on the power play. Almost the one touch in front for John Calgin.
Musatelli seemingly had a vacuum in that glove of his today. What stands out to you about Musatelli's game as this puck goes out of play?
Well, he's got good size to start.
That's always helpful as a goaltender.
Absolutely. Standing at 6'3", 190 pounds, he's got a lot to work with there, and really just looks like an intelligent hockey player. He's been reading plays very well. He's staying on top of his angles, doing really everything that you could ask for if you're a coach.
Oftentimes, I think people brush over the fact that as a goaltender, it's really important to know your team's systems, tendencies, how they like to play. He seems really keyed in on how his team likes to defend in their own end and how they like to penalty kill. So he's aware when open space pops up for the Bulldogs where that could potentially come from. Lubert, Am's ball, nudged into the end wall. Lubert couldn't find it. This one knocked forward by Chase Schmidt. Now it's Jackson Hay. Elevated down. They say it deflected. The linesman Cade Blessing making the call. We'll continue on. Lubert dealt on for a speeding Ryan Vellucci. Vellucci driving. Popped up towards Musatelli. And he was able to cradle it for another nice save with Vellucci bearing down on him.
Good strength for Musatelli. Holding the crease. Lubert with a fantastic pass. And then the breakaway. Just popped up at the last second.
Face-off is won back by the Spartans' Matt Weber. Then chipped out along the boards. Good work by Rudin to get things clear for his squad. Swade elevating one down that just stayed inside the boards. Backhand saucer played on by Brockman. This will be settled by Loretto. Now looking forwards for Swade. One touch feed for Summers. The trailer Loretto kicked out by Musatelli. Summers again. Didn't get everything he wanted behind that one as Redding tried the wrap. Again held out by the Spartan goaltender. Battle ensues down low. Found by Weber. He'll elevate this one along. It's too far ahead of a speeding Jack Rudin. Adenier opts for Calgin. Good move to get by one. Now trying to drop it off. It'll carry him for Summers. Brad Summers looking back, a chance. Love a second, a save, Musatelli.
Bulldogs finding their stride here late in the period. Couple of grade A chances as we near the end of the second. And the Spartans loving the performance from their goaltender, Musatelli. Coming up with some key stops here to keep this one close.
Face off on the far side of the Aurora zone here. Won by Patosha. Quick shot, Calgin. That one probably deflected off of Schwab in front. Great effort there by Code to usher it on for Chase Broda. Laying the lumber down low is Den Bestie as Jacob sends a message to Schwab in front of his own net.
That was a big hit from Julian Jacob. One of those guys we mentioned at the beginning of the game. Doesn't have a lot of height, but not afraid to lay the body down. Did just there.
Calgin able to work it out, straddling the blue line there on the far side was Broda. That one nicks off the glove of Stewart. Quick shot coming in from Den Bestie.
Keep an eye on Ryan Patosha, who went back to the bench. Is in some pain, is going to get some medical attention. Seemed like he received a pretty hard hit. Don't know what he had hurt there, but hope he's okay.
Calgin looking across for May. This has moved on. Nice feed up from Ackle. The shot is not missing by much off the stick of Procopio. Spartans wait just long enough to tag up. Another chance for Procopio, and that is swallowed up by Stewart.
Man, these two sides don't stop jiving at each other.
Jacob and Ackle face to face, staring each other down, and we're going to have penalties out of this.
Matching again. But this is the right thing to do if you're the official. You can't let either side get away with anything, and because both teams really are committing the same crime, you might as well call a Spartan and a Bulldog.
And the chirps still flying back and forth between Ackle and Patosha in the box. Let's look at head coach Adam Krug. Aurora's head coach is Jason Blumenberg, assisted by Brian Dempsey and Jack Wood. Play will stay 5-on-5 here. 51 seconds left in the second period, as it looks as if Jacob and Ackle will have to wait until 2 minutes has expired and a stoppage before they're able to exit the penalty enclosure. Skating it forward is Buds. trying to drive wide around Loretto, and he can. What a move by Buds. That one takes an odd deflection away from the Adrian goal.
Adenier lost his blade again.
Oh, boy. This is a difficult situation.
And he just blocked a shot.
Down on his knees is Adenier trying to cut off the lane. And a much-needed save made by Dershawn Stewart to hold on. And got to get something figured out with this blade of Adenier. Is it the same skate or a different skate?
Same skate.
Might be a faulty skate then, if the blade keeps popping out.
What happens sometimes with these new holders on the skates is you have a trigger that holds in the blade, and sometimes after wear and tear, they just wear out. And there are times when you're skating and it'll flex and it'll kind of trigger it and it'll pop it out. Or if you hit a hard object, it'll dislodge it straight out of the holder as well. So it might be time for Ayo Adenier to talk to the equipment rep as time winds down.
We've got a whistle here as Matt Kudo's without a helmet. Another scrum going on down low. 2 seconds remain on the clock here. Will we see more penalties? Jason Blumenberg giving marching orders on the bench for the Spartans.
Spartans might look to pull Musatelli here. At first they were saying go, now they're not. What's going to happen here?
Still in the net as of right now, as Kudo will strap his bucket back up. Probably not worthwhile to pull your goaltender if it's going to be a neutral zone face-off.
I think if they had O-zone established, they might have done it.
Definitely. Final face-off of this period between Jake Swade and Chase Schmidt. This one tied up by Schmidt. Smart play, as Summers will come through. And that will do it. We've got 40 minutes in the books, and Adrian with a slight edge at the moment. Scores 1-0. No goals to speak of in that second period. With no scoring, what was the storyline in this second?
Well, the first thing, of course, is for the Spartans, Jacob Musatelli, he's seen quite a lot of shots, and he's only let one in. He's made 30 saves here tonight. And on multiple power plays, multiple penalty kills, he's had to do his part, and his work is cut out for him right now. He's really holding the Spartans in this game. There were a couple of grade A chances that the Bulldogs unfortunately weren't able to capitalize on, that if they did, this is a totally different hockey game. You're skating into the third period at a 1-0 score. This is as close as physically possible. Game is unpredictable at this point. You have to hope that your goaltender is going to play well for you. That as well for Dershawn Stewart. He's been great. He made his second breakaway save, and that one was flashier than the one that he had in the first period with the left side pad. Both these guys have been great, and even after the game ends, I think you have to give 2 of the 3 stars to both of the netminders.
Definitely, if this game continues at the clip it's at right now. Stewart has saved 18 of 18, including that Hassan Ackle breakaway that we talked about. And we also have a 30 of 31 save performance for Jacob Musatelli, who we've talked about at length in this second. How about the physicality? Looking at the hits so far in this game, there's been plenty of them. We'll see if we can dig up the metrics in that department. It was an extremely physical second period, though, venture it to say.
Yeah, both these sides really not afraid to get familiar with one another. When somebody does one thing, there's always a response. Somebody has to get in the last word. And that's a really good thing to try and keep the energy on the bench high so that the morale is there to continue on to push throughout this game. If you're the Bulldogs, you need the energy to keep going. You got to score again. If you're the Spartans, you have to get on the board for the first time. So having that physical presence from your entire roster is a really, really good thing to try and aid them through their quest in this game.
Have to agree with you, Herm. Next goal in this game will be crucial. We'll see who can find it, or if we'll have another goal in this game the way these two goaltenders are playing. the thrilling conclusion of this showcase game between the Aurora Spartans and Adrian Bulldogs at the Huntington Center, home of the ECHL's Toledo Walleye. We've got 20 more minutes after the break here on ACTV. Don't go anywhere.
There's so many firsts, lasts, and in-betweens. We're certainly not the last class to get a smile and a kiss from Bruiser walking across campus. We are never going to be the last class to begin our college careers by serving our local community and pursuing our passions. Above all else, come hell or high water, we will never be the last class to come to Adrian College and find a motivated and supportive community of students, faculty, and staff, and leave with the skills and tools needed to be inspiring industry leaders and professionals with high hopes and dreams for our bright futures ahead. The people and the experiences that we are most grateful for are the ones that will continue us on this upward path for the rest of our lives. In the spirit of gratitude, thank you to my fellow classmates for being a part of this community with me. Whether we spent most of these moments together or barely crossed paths, you contributed your gifts and talents to continue the legacy of this incredible community. Thank you for prioritizing the preservation of the Adrian College experience and for continually seeking to develop the institution's ability to develop both the knowledge in our heads and the care in our hearts.
Thank you to the roommates, friends, teammates, and peers who, although we have only known each other for 4 years, it seems impossible to think about being surrounded by anyone else in the coming weeks. We celebrated each other's accomplishments, became each other's biggest cheerleaders, and never let each other struggle alone. College has been called the most formative years of our lives, but I can say for certain that these last 4 years have included both the most amazing and most difficult moments of my life. One constant, however, is the support of my friends through it all. It is impossible to thank everyone who makes up our AC family. Together, you have each played an integral role in helping us achieve this momentous milestone.
And you be proud to be a graduate of Adrian College. It's a good day to be a Bulldog. Thank you, and congratulations to the class of 2023.
Today's students on the threshold of a magical time in your life, a time of significant growth and introspection, self-awareness, challenge, and opportunity. A time when you will always look back at and say, you know what? Those were incredibly special years. Never experienced before I arrived and never replicated after you leave college.
back to our coverage of NCAA Division III hockey right here on ACTV. I'm Calvin Keys alongside my partner, Alex Herman. And we got 20 minutes left in this contest between Adrian and Aurora. The score 1-0. Brad Summers struck early in the first period. That's been the lone goal so far. And two big reasons why Aurora has been able to mitigate Adrian, who's had 31 shots in this game, to just a single goal. Great penalty killing and great goaltending.
Absolutely. Both of those important factors, as you mentioned, here this evening in this contest. And really, what more can you ask for than a 1-0 game going into the third for our first broadcast for 2024?
Chase Broda had the game winner for the Spartans in Game 2 of their weekend series a couple of months ago. Ryan Patosha had the game winner in Game 1. Will Brad Summers be the hero, or will there be another game-breaking play late in this third period to decide it? We'll find out. Matt Redding will carry it onwards. Jake Swade, the shot. That one took a funky bounce, as that may have went off of Lucas Sedlacek near the goal.
That was a scary one.
That's not how you want a game like this to be decided, that's for certain.
Nope. But at this point, honestly, I think the Bulldogs really hoping that anything goes in.
Puck tied up at the dot. This is sent over towards the near side and moved on by Sedlacek. Stewart. Babyak trying to usher it on. This is kept in by Schmidt. Redding lofted this one ahead. See if Jake Swade can win the race. Doesn't have to, as Musatelli is forced to come out of his net to play it. Handled behind the goal. This is Schwab. Able to move it up the near boards. Finds its way to Jake Code. Code dancing in. Meets a roadblock and will just swing it around the wall. Sliding in to seal off the breakout was Hay. Stopped it momentarily, but then it's lobbed ahead by Summers. Musatelli. Strong play with the paddle. Klein to Kudo in the neutral zone. Kaljan bumped into from behind. Able to move it in as he sent a Spartan flying with his caboose there on the play, Herm. Code. Worked into the middle. Nice move to get through nearly was Derek Buds. Unable to split the D there on that play. Patosha trying to move it off the boards. This one caroms high off the glass, just stays inside the rink. Follow-up chance. May have deflected. Initial shot came from Jackson Hay. May have pinballed around near Stewart's crease. This one lofted back in by Jake Code. Klein settling things down behind the Bulldog goal and snaps a feed up for Matt Kudo. Kudo a shot into the near corner. This is batted onwards by Santa Lucia. May able to keep the puck in. Here's Gerstein. Trying to center Troon. Fall to May. Follow-up chance. Man, that just went off the side of Musatelli. Denier. Shot from distance. Trying to sweep it out of trouble is Weber. Battle on the boards. This is found behind the goal by Pang. Santa Lucia lofted on. Loretto finds it at center right on top of the walleye logo. Gerstein on for May from an acute angle. That one slides across the blue paint.
Almost at the bottom heel of the stick, too.
Centered here for Gerstein. That one off the stick of a Spartan and back into the near corner. Bulldogs with some ozone possession time mounting. And that one again is kept out by Jacob Musatelli somehow, some way. Loretto will skate out to grab this one as Spartans able to get a fire wagon change. This is skated in by Santa Lucia. Loretto lofted back out. Swade in hot pursuit, giving some trouble to Connor Smith. Here's Redding. He goes down to the ice. Summers in to help him on the forecheck. This one gloved, sidestepping a hit, and getting it out of danger is Schmidt. And a nice little pirouette there to get away from a check from Sedlacek.
Oh, look out. Stewart almost misplayed it there. Got a little overconfident with the puck.
Everyone starts to grip their stick a little bit tighter at this stage of the game. 16:20 left to go. Just a goal to separate these two teams. Number 4, Adrian, looking to bounce back from a defeat last night against number 14, Trine. Unranked Aurora, who is right behind the Bulldogs in the NCAA standings, looking to play spoiler here at the Huntington Center in Toledo. Shot coming in from the top of the right side circle. That is gloved by Stewart on the attempt from Buds. Another look at this play here, Herm.
Yeah, this is a great glove save for Stewart. Watch how he just shuffled across and right on top of it there. There's really nothing to shoot at. Stewart, great performance here this evening.
That's why every goaltending coach is going to tell you to be, or try to train you to be positionally sound, because if you're in the right spot, like, it makes that kind of save look routine.
Well, a lot of the time, if you can figure out how to angle your body in the shooting lane, what you can rely on is that the puck will just hit you. And it doesn't always have to be the cleanest save, but if you're positionally sound, as you mentioned, you're going to be right on top of it.
Shot sent high. Probably was going over the goal off the stick of Jack Rudin. Stewart will glove it anyway.
Got to snap the glove from time to time.
Little flash of the leather. Style points for Stewart.
Nothing wrong with that at all.
This looked like night and day here from what we saw last night, where the Bulldogs, having not played for a couple of weeks, came out a little bit sluggish against Trine, and now on the second half of a back-to-back, they've looked prime and ready to go pretty much all night long. We were wondering what the start was going to look like from this Bulldog team after they went down 2 goals the night before. They answered that by getting a goal early on in the first period, and then have done a really nice job defending that lead.
I have to agree with you there, Calvin. Doing their best effort to shut it down in the D zone, and whenever they can get to the opposite side and try and get shots off, they do. They're out shooting the Spartans 35-20 at this point at the 15:27 mark in the third period. Really all you can ask for on that front.
Absolutely. Sent back by Hallard, walking in. That's fought off by Stewart as a Spartan tumbles to the ice. Klein trying to push it on for Patosha. With it now is Hallard behind the goal. Able to move it for Code. Jack Code can really wheel when you give him open space. Calgin trying to handle it backwards, was met by Buds, and now Code. Backhand pass that's stabbed away by Calgin. We were talking about how Adrian has done a good job defending their lead. I would argue that the best defense is a good offense, and their passing has been really crisp, and their offensive IQ and vision has been on point as well. Amsbaugh skating in on the near boards, able to hold off Procopio, who has 7 shots on goal for the Spartans so far in this game. He's been firing early and often for Aurora. Amsbaugh just unable to keep it in. Loretto. Now Vellucci up the near boards. Amsbaugh stepping into a shot. That went off the shin pad of Connor Smith. That's a double-edged sword because you're either blocking the shot or you're screening your goaltender there when you're right in front of the shooter like that. And that time Connor Smith did a really nice job as Lubert will move away from a hit. This is taken right back by Matt Weber. Io Adenier, the Columbus native in his home state of Ohio this evening, playing in Toledo. Amsbaugh trying to get away from Spencer Denbesti. Spartans clear. Here's Jaden Shields. Had a goal and 2 assists rather last night versus Trine. This one is seemingly shepherded onwards, but picked off by Gearstein, trying to slide it over. The puck loose, right on the doorstep. Musatelli says nothing doing there on the bid from the Bulldogs. Up the other direction. Here's a chance, and that one's sent over the crossbar by Lucas Sedlacek. Babiak digging after it below the goal line. Shields away, but not out. Behind the goal line, Kirk looking out front. That one's sealed off by the Bulldog defense. This one takes an odd carom. Dershawn Stewart, Johnny on the spot. Bulldogs don't like the late whack coming from Sedlacek on the play, and the officiating crew will have to get in there and break up the ruckus, as they have had to do at numerous points in tonight's contest.
Yeah, that was quick of official Bill Jones to step in there and separate the masses. Made sure he was there in no time. Really important not to let this game run away from either side. Yes, you have to have the physicality, but you can't let it take over and have somebody make a play they regret.
We're used to broadcasting games at the Arrington Ice Arena. We're at a different rank today, the Huntington Center, but we have the same officiating crew that we see on a routine basis. Mark DeRosiers and Bill Jones are the referees, and Cade Blessing and Cody Lang, the linesmen, and they've done a spot-on job tonight.
That they have.
We figured out that the penalty to Procopio in the second period, the first period rather, a 5-minute major, was for knee. So got some clarification there as that transpired away from the play. Swade dropped for Kudo, hops up in the rush. That one went off of Pang and wide. This one skittering down the ice. Klein will skate back for it and get a favorable icing call there as that one just snuck over the goal line at the last possible moment.
I thought maybe there was a chance they were going to wave that off, but not the case.
Talked about it in the first half of our doubleheader. The Adrian women taking down Trine 6-1. That's an art form as a defenseman. As a former defenseman myself, you're always trying to make it look like you're skating after the puck while secretly trying to give it as much time as possible to just nudge over that red line for the icing call. That's what Klein did there. The Boissevain, Manitoba native. Redding sends a shot on. Right pad save made by Jacob Musatelli. Comes all the way back for Klein. He'll fire a shot and able to dodge the check of Chase Broda. But it is Jacob Musatelli who holds on again. And for Musatelli, that's the 35th save of the game. I'd be interested to see what percentage of those saves were made with the glove hand.
It's actually a very good point there, Calvin. They do seem to target that side a little bit, but he's been spot on in every snap that he's made.
I know you're a New Rochelle native yourself. How far away is Woodgate, New York, from where you call home?
I don't believe I've heard of Woodgate before, so I'm going to have to make an assumption that it's probably farther upstate than where I am, as Westchester County is basically as south as you can go outside of New York City. So I'm going to take the over on 3 hours.
All right, we'll have to check on that in the post game. Maybe have one of our interns look that one up. Calgin skating into the offensive zone, trying to center it into the middle. And for reference, Woodgate, New York, the hometown of Jacob Musatelli, putting Woodgate on the map apparently here tonight. This one knocked away, squeaks out. Spartans rushing up ice. As here is Jackson Kirk, sends a shot on. Vacuumed into the paraphernalia of Dershawn Stewart as he makes another sensational stop.
All right, so I have the official answer for you here, Calvin. You want to guess what the time is?
So how about I do this? Over or under 3 hours?
All right, that's fine. You can go with that.
Okay. I'm going to go under because 3 hours seems like a long time.
I hit the over. It's 4.5 hours away from New Rochelle, New York. Look at that.
Oh, boy. Up near Syracuse.
Yep, that's way up there.
Up in the Finger Lakes.
Got to be careful of those Finger Lakes.
Office fans will get the reference there.
I'm happy you got that.
People disappear in the Finger Lakes. Pucks have disappeared into the glove of Musatelli today. Don't know how close Woodgate is to the Finger Lakes, but we're just having fun here. 1-0 game in the third. 10:59 left to go in the contest, as I am extremely enthused that my partner caught my sitcom reference there.
Big Office fan, have to tell you that.
You miss 100% of the shots you don't take. Has to be the mantra from both coaches in this third period, both Adam Krug and Jason Blumenberg. Of course, that was a method preached by the great Michael Scott. Dominic Lubert pressuring the point as that was sent down low by John Haller. Ben Loretto trying to move it out. Amsball speared on. Passes away from the twig of Santa Lucia. This one bounces off the board. Somehow Aurora was able to stay onside on the play. Amsball. Nice pass to pick out a Denier as Lou Bear.
Oh, boy.
Clattered into. He's down in some discomfort. Did not see that hit coming.
Oh, my goodness.
Hassan Ackel and Julian Jacob exit the box.
Let's see the
Lou
hit.
Bear in some pain.
Oh, no.
Right in the trolley tracks.
You cannot do that. Oh, man, I hope Dom is okay. I'm interested to see what this call is going to be.
Not sure I fault the Aurora player there as the puck was just coming right there. You're taught to play the body, but it's just tough for Lou Bear as he just did not see the man coming.
No, and he wasn't close to playing it with his stick, so he really got caught off guard. I think he was ready to just turn up and go the other way. And, man, that is a hard, scary hit.
Open ice hits have a propensity to be dangerous, and it's even more dangerous when you have no idea someone's coming. And that's the scenario we saw there as the crowd will applaud Dominic Lou Bear. He'll head off to the dressing room under his own power, which is a positive thing to see here.
Absolutely. Just wishing good thoughts for Dom Lou Bear, big friend of ACTV, spends a lot of time with us. So certainly hope that he is okay. That was a tough crunch that he took at center ice there. So I believe the Bulldogs will get a power play out of this. Looks like a 2-minute. I don't know if it was a 2 and 10 because there's nobody in the box. I'm going to guess that it probably was because there was somebody in there initially. Now there is not. So the officials need to recognize that they need to put somebody into the penalty square.
Get a look at Casey Gerstein here. As we mentioned, had his first goal as a Bulldog last night, transferring over from King's College, which is another Division III program in Pennsylvania. Right at home with the plentiful crop of Ontario natives we have in this Bulldog lineup. Gerstein himself hails from Toronto. Power play commences here for the Bulldogs. Matt Redding to start things off. Swade, slip for Shields, walks in, looking for a tip from Gerstein, as we mentioned. Aurora able to clear. Their PK unit will change.
I have to apologize here. There is somebody in the box for the Spartans. I didn't see him for whatever reason at first.
What a feed looking across for Summers. That was Swade. Tough to see the man in the box with the advertising behind. 2-minute penalty is called.
How about the feed from Swade there? Little spinorama action. That connected for the 1T. Whew, that would have been pretty.
Good vision there as Redding is plastered to the half wall. Gerstein picking it up. Swade got a piece of it. That one was nearly a changeup heading towards the goal. When you face lots of extremely high velocity shots, sometimes it's the slow one that trickles through. Brad Summers steps up. Huge hit and a penalty coming. And here's Matt Redding getting involved with Sedlacek on the far boards between the team's benches.
This is going to be called down for a penalty, too. Bill Jones signaled for an elbow. We'll see it here on the replay. I didn't see an elbow at all.
That's an elbow.
Close.
That's an elbow.
At first, it was
stuck the chicken wing up.
At first, it was too quick for me to see, but I guess you're going to have to call that one down. Not what the Bulldogs want, and Coach Krug unhappy with that as well. The timing and the placement of the hit was correct because there still was possession, so you can do that, but as the hitter there, you have to get it with your hands down and follow through and not bring your hands up. So from the advantage point of the official, clear-cut call. So we'll go to 4-on-4 for the next 37 seconds, unless something changes, and then the Spartans to the power play under the halfway point in the third regulation period.
About a minute and a half after John Hallard is called for interference, we will see a penalty called for elbowing against Brad Summers. Driving in right now is Ackel. stoppage in play, as I think the referee may have lost sight of the puck. That's Bill Jones down there who whistled for the stoppage. The scenario we're looking at is 4-on-4 for the next 20 seconds, and then an abbreviated minute and 23-second long power play for Aurora, which I believe would be their first of the night. What better time to have it than in the waning minutes of this game? 8:40 to play here. Glad you're with us. Calvin Keys alongside Alex Herman on ACTV from the Huntington Center in Toledo. NCAA Division III hockey, what's been a treat so far? Jacob. Oh my, he's clotheslined. That's going to be another penalty.
Jacob looked back. He thought it was on him at first. But another elbowing call. This time it's going to go against Jackson Kirk, so that's going to negate the power play opportunity for the Spartans.
That's a tough hit to watch. Just clips him up in the head here. Look at that.
Oh.
Launches towards him as well. Elbow didn't come up super far, but the principal point of contact was to the head, so kind of a no-brainer there. 2 men in the box now. And now we're looking at a more complicated special teams equation, as it will be a power play, 4-on-3 for the Bulldogs for the next 7 seconds. Then we'll be back to 4-on-4, and then a 5-on-4 power play for 29 seconds at the tail end of that.
Gonna see what's gonna happen. This game getting ever so interesting from Toledo, Ohio.
Another elbowing penalty, this time against Jackson Kirk. Brings the Bulldogs to a rare scenario momentarily. Now, one Spartan out of the box is another massive hit. Bodies have been flying. This game has been physical, to say the least. 4-on-4 for the next minute. Jacob able to find it. Another penalty coming here, as I think Swade may have chopped the stick out of the hands of Derek Buds.
Back and forth penalties. What is happening? What chaos?
It's a hook.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's going to be hard to argue this one, because Swade really got up into the face with his stick. Catch it here on the replay. There you see it. Yeah, he's pretty in there. And penalties just don't stop here. And really, this is where in the first two periods it was important for the officials to hang on to the control, and I still think they have the collar on this one, but it's very close from us seeing some questionable plays from both sides.
I thought they've done a really nice job, even with some of these high hits that we've seen. This one slipped back off the right pad of Stewart, as creeping in was Hassan Ackle with the drive. Here's Jake Code, dropped off for Santa Lucia, who will bide his time here. Rare 4-on-3 power play with 7:25 left in the third. Bulldogs lead. Aurora trying to tie it up. This one will sneak out into the neutral zone. Now finds Procopio in neutral ice. Dropped off for Ackle. Cross ice feed. Didn't find its target from Giuliano Santa Lucia. Ackle for Code. Slips one. Where's the puck? Stewart has it. We've got, I believe, 5 seconds left on this 4-on-3, and then we will return to 4-on-4.
Got to keep an eye on the box here, as you mentioned. Little time left on the first Bulldog penalty. They have Brad Summers, who's waiting to get out of the box. They might try and draw something up so they can send him a stretch pass. He's lingering around in the neutral zone.
Face-off won by Buds. They look to the point, and hey, shot goes off the leg of Patosha. Summers is out of the box, 4-on-4 for the next 25 seconds as they center. Bud's shot didn't get off cleanly. Regrouping here is Procopio. Looks all the way back for his goaltender, Musatelli. Unconventional move there from the Spartan power play, trusting their goaltender, using him as the fifth member of their 4-on-4 unit.
Yeah, you don't see that often, but when you can trust your goalie.
Here's Bud's a quick shot. Sealed off again by Stewart, who has been stellar. Kudo trying to kick it out. Working hard to find it. Stick-to-itiveness from Matt Kudo on display. He gets it down. Patosha will lift it. Cross-check is delivered towards May. Is down low. It's Blake Condor. 8 seconds until Jake Swade will return to the ice, and finally we'll be back to 5-on-5, and Stewart tested again and passes with flying colors.
Now the question is, how long are we going to stay 5-on-5? Both teams back to even strength. Next couple of minutes, really important.
It's funny, we came into this third period having only seen a handful, 2 or 3 penalties in the game, and the door to the penalty box has been virtually in movement this entire third. Lovasek trying to drop it back as he took a forearm shiver from Santa Lucia. Still Lovasek working hard on the forecheck. Santa Lucia lifted down. May looking for it. Dropped back for Jacob. Slipped for Shields. Shoots one into the plexiglass in the far corner. Summers chasing in. Schwab able to work this one onward for Brockman. Jacob Brockman with time and space. Dancing in. Still Brockman. What a toe drag off the side of the net. Optical illusion there. That puck went off the outside of the goal. Long shot deflected. Didn't miss by much. Took a funny bounce. Babiak cuts off the passing lane. This one will be lifted down, and it will be icing against Adrian as Aurora knocking on the door here with 4:33 to play in the game.
Those are 2 straight chances where Aurora was right there looking to tie the game. First there, the toe drag goes off the outside of the net. And then the second shot from up top, we'll see here in a moment, just barely dribbles wide. Looked like it caught a piece. Oh man, what a game this has been.
A real treat. Happy to have you with us here in the new year. That one lofts up into the stratosphere, comes back down to earth. Summers goes down. I think there was a delayed penalty against Adrian here. It'll be for cross-checking. And I think it's Matt Redding going to the box. See if we can get another look at this one. Didn't see the penalty, but I saw Musatelli heading off for the extra skater.
I'm going to guess it happened associated with something along the wall. That's not a good penalty that you can take late here in the game. 4:22 left to go. See it here on the video board, and Aurora's also going to take a timeout. And I'm not sure on that one. My guess is as good as yours, Calvin, but taking a halt here in play under the 5-minute mark. It's going to be really important for the Spartans to look to draw something up. You got 2 minutes of 5-on-4 with not a lot of time left. One shot is really the difference.
It was a tough angle that we saw in the replay, but it looked like Redding got his opponent in the numbers and really hit him into the boards fairly violently. So I think that's why Mark DeRogers immediately raised the arm as the trail official. Fans of all ages enjoying the game here today. Good to see the Adrian and Aurora fans in attendance, as this is about 40 minutes south from the campus of Adrian College.
Short drive for the Bulldogs. Not so short of a drive for Aurora. Had to make that drive out a couple of weeks before the Christmas break, and that was a long one. That was a really long drive.
Aurora, a team that hails from the greater Chicago area. That's the assistant coach of this Bulldog team, their goaltending coach, Jeremy Symington. Power play starts here out of the timeout for Aurora. What were they able to draw up? Jason Blumenberg watches his team go to work. Santa Lucia handed off for Ackle. Hassan Ackle. Santa Lucia once more. They find code, toe drag, release. right pad save, and Ackle wasn't able to find the rebound. This one sneaks by Santa Lucia. Bulldog penalty kill unit will get a chance to change. Here's Ackle. Moving from right to left, and he went in offside. 3:40 to go. Low-scoring game here at the Huntington Center in Toledo, Ohio. What's your favorite part about this barn, Herm, as we've got to spend most of the day here for this ACTV doubleheader?
Well, you know, it's always a good atmosphere when you can call a game from a pro arena. You got all of the seats. It's a good advantage point right here at center ice. Lighting is good. Sound system is great. Just fun to watch hockey from this perspective.
Talk about the sound system. I thought for sure you'd go with the DJ. He's been hitting all the right notes today for you, Herm.
We've been jamming out during the breaks, I got to tell you.
Oh, yeah. That is an understatement. Skated in here by Butts. Oh, boy. Dropped that one off, and no Spartan was there. Gives Potosha an opportunity to clear with 40 seconds left in the penalty to Matt Redding for cross-checking. This is sent to the near side. Matt Weber crosses over the blue line, looking to center a tip, and Stewart stops it.
That redirection was a difficult play to make. You got to have a lot of strength to be able to move the puck the way that he was able to there with one hand. Extended out on the forehand. Good awareness to just throw something towards the net. It's those shots at the last second that can really catch a goaltender by surprise.
Tips and screens. I think that's probably the only way that either team will be able to get another goal in this game, because both goaltenders seeing it really well tonight. 2:49 left in the game, 27 seconds left in the Aurora power play. Summers versus Schmidt. The face-off matchup. Brad Summers, a crucial face-off win. Loretto just able to clear. That one skipped by Santa Lucia. And here's Theo Troon, draws a penalty, takes the shot. Glove save made.
Did they signal that was offsides?
Oh, boy, that was the call made. I thought Troon had drawn a penalty. They say that he went in ahead of the puck instead. Good eye there. I think that is correct, as the puck was trailing him a bit there. It was a close call. The good thing is the Aurora goaltenders saved it, so we don't have to stand here and debate, oh, man, that would have been a goal if they didn't call offside. Doesn't matter either way. The face-off is just in the neutral zone instead of the Aurora zone. Stewart covers up as coming in hot. Gio Procopio.
Keep an eye on Musatelli here. Looks like he's getting ready to head back over to the bench once he's given the signal.
Crunch time here at the Huntington Center. If you're just joining us, the only goal of this game came at 7:49 of the first. Brad Summers from Matt Redding and Matt Kudo. That goal has stood the test of time up until this point. 2:33 left. Shots 38-29 in favor of Adrian. And what has been a game with lots of offense, lots of physicality, and recently lots of special teams. And don't forget about big saves.
And Stewart making the smart play here. Got sprayed with some snow. Decides to take his time, reset his helmet, drink of water, get the snow off of his sweater. We're back for puck drop.
I didn't see any snow showers in the forecast here in Toledo.
Well, there is supposed to be some snow this weekend. Saw some flurries earlier today.
Oh, yeah. Can't wait.
I hope it snows.
We need some snow. Around the blue paint, snow showers are always expected. Shields trying to clear it out. Summers will find it. Puck makes its way on for Procopio once more. Shields absolutely decked by Procopio. Get some ice packs ready for these guys after the game. Working through his buds with some strong play. Feeds, hey, that's blocked by Swade. Maybe off to the races. Gets the moneymakers going. Cuts back, tries to let a shot go. He's caught up high, and the shot goes wide. Jackson Hay probably lucky not to get a penalty there, but you love the effort to get back against the speedy Suede and lay the body there, separate the man from the puck. Minute and a half left here, and you have to imagine as soon as Aurora gets in the offensive zone, we'll see Jacob Musatelli head to the bench for the extra skater. Game hanging in the balance. Here's Santa Lucia. Patosha cut it off. Spartans struggling to get into the Bulldog zone. Jacob lofted down. Takes a lively bounce off the boards. Santa Lucia will headman the puck.
This needs to be rinse and repeat for the Bulldogs. Get it in the loose areas and send it back the other way.
Connor May walks in. Another superb stop from Musatelli. But the Bulldogs clogging up neutral ice right now, making life difficult for Aurora as we've eclipsed the 1 minute threshold. 57 seconds left. Adrian making it difficult for Aurora to get offense going.
And this is a good bounce for the Bulldogs. The shot was stopped by Santalucci, but it deflected up into the netting, so an ozone draw. What's going on with the lights here?
I'm not sure. Might have been a sandstorm that we heard during the intermission. May will play it down low. This is found by Buds. Trying to work it out dangerously. Just out into the neutral zone. Kudo will shoot it back in on goal. Sent ahead by Hay. That went off May. Recollected by Procopio. He'll skate up the left side. 30 seconds to play.
That is empty.
May moving this one down. Blake Condor weaving in. He's sandwiched between Klein and Patosha. Kudo, a drive. Speeding to get to the wall was Procopio. That one's fought off by Stewart. May have gone off his glove. Kudo playing it off the plexiglass and down. Racing to get there is Connor May. What a hustle play to negate the icing. Clock ticking down. They look out front. Patosha back for Kudo, who will safely play it down low, and that'll seal it. The Bulldogs are barking, and they seal a 1-0 victory here at the home of the Toledo Walleye, the Huntington Center.
Wow. What a game. Who could have predicted 1-0 the score would ultimately be the final? 1 goal in the first, none for the rest of the game. 30 save shutout. Take a bow. Dershawn Stewart. Man, oh man.
Stewart, the star in net, able to stop all 30 of the shots that came his way. How impressive is that? Players shake hands, and this is the most civil we've seen things between these two teams all game. Looking at the season series, Adrian got the first game in Geneva back in November, 3-2 the next day. Spartans struck back to win 4-3 in another thriller. Another great game, 1-goal game once more. Bulldogs take it 1-0. Goal scored 7 minutes in by Brad Summers will stand as the winner. And Adrian has the last laugh in the regular season, but boy, I would pay good money to see these two teams face off in an NCAA playoff matchup with the animosity that we saw here today, Herm.
Absolutely. And man, I'm at a loss for words. What a great contest. Well coached on both sides. Plenty of chances, great saves, good physicality. Just goes to show how strong these two programs are. Man, oh man, what a day.
Exciting game. Certainly the senior, Dershawn Stewart, able to record the shutout. And for him, that is shutout number 5 of his career. Already the 3rd one that he's had this season. So that is incredibly impressive. You tip your cap to Aurora. Came in and played a really strong game against the number 4 team in the country. But at the end of the day, the name of the game is to score goals. They weren't able to do that. Thanks to Stewart. Brad Summers gets the game winner as the Bulldogs will applaud the crowd here in attendance at the Huntington Center. We would like to thank you for your support in tuning in here on ACTV. That's a wrap. Bulldogs win 1-0 over the Spartans of Aurora. For Alex Herman, Megan Abbey, Gino Capacchione, Reagan Petrowski, I'm Calvin Keys, wishing you a good night.
pride and learn from Asa Mahan's leadership today.